Hey, what's happening, everybody? That's Eli from Gold Boys. I'm Eytan from Odd Shopper. We'll tell you everything what's going on, a bunch of different things, how you can reach us, how you can connect with us, how you can take advantage of Eli's bot, and a bunch of other shit going on in our lives, I'm sure. We've got the Super Bowl to talk about. We've got the AT&T Pro-Am to talk about. We've got some NBA and maybe a little college we can sprinkle in here before we get out. That's on the docket, Eli. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Um, Not much else to say. Not much else to say. I feel like I've unlocked wizardry because I've just like figured out very basic coding things when I own a website this week. So, experiencing some freedom, working on some new things that I'm excited about. Got a lot of looks, especially PGA wise. I think that I'm also excited about this week.
Right.
It'll be a fun tournament with a whole lot of weather and everything. Also, there's the Super Bowl, that little thing. So it's just a good time to be me right now. If I'm going to be completely honest.
See, I love it. You are super thrilled, excited through the roof about what you've created, the technology that you've advanced on your website. And the big win, the big victory in my household over the last couple of days is this. Not that I've been able to finally make a cup of coffee, but the grinder slash brewer came. And yesterday we graduated, if you will, from K cups to actually
Ooh,
these
actual coffee.
Newberry or Peaberry, whatever they're called, where it's like one bean in there only, and it just I'm on a different level, my brother, and I feel like I'm on, and maybe it's the caffeine, but I'm definitely on cloud nine with this new cup. So there's the wide range of celebration going on in both the Eli and Eytan
Yeah,
households.
yeah. Hey,
Mm,
you got to find it somewhere.
I do, I do. Are you happy that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, man? Are you gonna be rooting for?
No,
I'm
I'm
on
I'm
KC.
so I'm honestly, I was really hoping that we wouldn't see this matchup. Like I was gonna be. I knew it was a very long shot to see like a Ravens Lions Super Bowl or even a Ravens Niners Super Bowl. Um, I'm not thrilled. Just this matchup feels a little stale, but it's still a Super Bowl. You still have, one of the better football teams we've seen in a while in the in the Niners, I think, up against one of the greatest quarterbacks I think we will see, and Patrick Mahomes. So how can you really be that upset about it? It does feel a little stale, um, but it's still a Super Bowl.
So what's really before we look at any and look, we'll have some time to talk about this stuff. Does Loctopus play the octopus bet, by the way? Is that like mandatory for him?
What's the octopus bet?
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so here's
Oh
the
yeah, you gotta
problem,
tell me.
right? And you can appreciate this because whenever there's something that the general public doesn't really know about and it starts cashing, people jump in, and then somebody, for better or worse, blurts this shit out on Twitter to 150,000 people, gets retweeted. Now everybody knows that, Anthony Edwards has hit 25 points and whatever
Yeah.
the number, the trend is. So leading up to last year, this was actually not a popular bet, but it became popular as far as you can bet on the Super Bowl. And octopus is a person scores the touchdown, and that same person who scores the touchdown scores the 2-point conversion that happens
Uh,
on the next play. So what I did last year, we hit the octopus. We'll call it that for the
sure.
purposes of what we're doing here. Last year we hit the octopus, and it was 14-1. This year it's already down to 12-1.
Ooh.
And the beauty of this play, I will say, the beauty of this play is, and again, if you're here hanging out, thumbs up, make sure you subscribe. Gold Boys, Odd Shopper, both at Degen Eli, at Shander Bets on Twitter for us. But the beauty of this is that you already, like, you can see your mind working. All you need is to identify a play, like who is the number one or number two guys on a team to get the 2-point conversion in a playoff, in a Super Bowl. Like you're not
Right.
running that to no offense to Noah Gray, Eli, but you're not running a play for Noah Gray as a 2-point conversion if it's that important of a moment where you have to go for two. Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco on one side, Christian
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, Debo Samuel probably on the other side.
I'd probably bet McCaffrey twice before anybody else in this football game, to be honest.
He and Kelsey, I could see. But again,
Yeah.
like McCaffrey, you're just giving him the ball. Shout
Yeah.
out to Art, aka Sick Motion, in the chat. Look at that. Beautiful,
Hey.
babe. Yeah, so I'm not going to play the octopus because it's already watered down, but I just didn't
It's an
know.
interesting bet. It's a fun thing to have, a few bucks on for sure.
Right. I mean,
Are
there's
you
some
betting? You're
absurd
betting
shit.
just that it will like that there will be an octopus in the game at 12-1.
Yep. But
Christian
knowing that it
McCaffrey,
was
I think, has got to
14,
be the premier octopus player in the NFL. I would think, right? I don't have a stat on that, but if you think of one person in the NFL who would be the guy who scores a touchdown and then scores the subsequent 2-point conversion, Christian McCaffrey to me is the first guy that comes to mind. Lamar Jackson would be up there, I think, for me, but and Travis Kelce's probably would be in the top 10 at the very least, even with the
I
down
would think
season he
so.
had. So
Yeah.
you've got some players in here that
Jalen.
if the Lions were in this game, I don't think that they have that premier guy who you could target for that. So yeah, as you've got two teams with good options, which could be why it's down to 12-1 already. I don't know, but I don't know anything
Well, it's
about
also, I think, a popular bet, right?
Yeah.
Like people this time around knew it from last year. I also love the fact that coaches. I mean, we've got two guys in Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid. Andy Reid would go for it for two every time
Yeah.
if they didn't have that good of a kicker, which they do. Well, it's just something to think about.
I found it interesting.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about this before the show, but again, I'm not going to do the whole rant thing, but talked a little bit about how Chiefs -3 2 weeks ago. I said was the easiest bet of my career. Got a lot of backlash for that. It's very interesting that the Chiefs are or that the Niners are favored by 2 and 3 fewer points over the Chiefs than the Ravens and the Bills were. And you've got to think the Niners are a better football team. Neutral field, obviously, what you pointed out before the show, but also, I think books and the public are starting to remember what I knew 2 weeks ago, that this is still Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the playoffs. So I don't think I'm going to bet on the Chiefs here, but
Why not? I got them at even money because I
Okay.
didn't know. Because here's the thing, I didn't know what the hell's going to happen, right? Like all the public sharp, all that stuff is out the window because you've got people betting a ton of money that never bet.
Yeah.
So I just looked at it like, am I going to get at the very least even, and who knows, maybe this swings back again, but am I going to get at the very least a coin flip for the Chiefs to win a game on a neutral field in a spot in which they know Vegas too. Like, let's not overthink that, Eli. This is a field that they play on once a year now, ever since Vegas moved there. So a little more familiarity, I would think, at the very least, than San Francisco. Just seemed like the right play to make, to just take the Chiefs to win, so long as you're getting at least even money or better.
Yeah, and here's how I would look at that. I agree with you. I think you're getting value here with the Chiefs still, even whether it's the 2 points or the money line, because again, whatever they've looked like coming into the season, Patrick Mahomes has looked elite again, and it looks like Travis Kelce is back. So that is really hard to beat, right? That is really hard to beat. You go quarterback for quarterback here. I'm sorry, Niners fans, that matchup is not close. It's not close. I'm not sure how close it would be, honestly, with 27, 28 quarterbacks in the NFL, or all of them. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable, and he looks as elite as it can be right now. But so I look at it, I ask myself, do I feel better about the Chiefs winning this game, or do I feel better about Travis Kelce scoring a touchdown? I probably feel a little bit better about Travis Kelce scoring a touchdown at plus 110 than I do the Chiefs winning the game, personally. And then I also start to think, like, do I feel better about either team winning this, or do I feel better about Christian McCaffrey scoring 2 touchdowns? And I think I would feel better about a 2 touchdown bet at plus 260 for McCaffrey than I would at an even money bet on either one of these teams to win. That's kind of just how I'm looking at it. That might be a really dumb take because I'm more of a prop betting guy than a
well, you go with what you know, right? Don't force a bet.
Yeah. Plus 260 for that man to score 2 touchdowns. You kidding me?
All right, what's the same game parlay for McCaffrey? Oh, man, McCaffrey's at 260. Look, Pacheco's at 5-1 to score twice.
Kelce for 2, McCaffrey for 2, and I think I'm in. I might just roll the dice on that.
You like Kelce for 2? See, I think Pacheco has the better avenue, don't you, as far as against that Niners run defense?
I do, but also, I don't know. I don't want to do the whole Taylor Swift thing or, what is the
Do
NFL
it.
trying
Do
to
it.
do
Look,
here?
they're in
I
the
don't want to
Super
do
Bowl.
it. I don't want to do it, but I think that comes into play a little bit.
It absolutely
Travis
does.
Kelce scores 2 touchdowns. That's another opportunity that they get to put Taylor Swift's face on screen in the Super Bowl. That probably has nothing to do with anything, but I do think Travis Kelce is better at football than Isaiah Pacheco. But yeah,
Well,
I definitely see what you're saying. Definitely see what you're saying. I haven't even looked at the odds here.
all right, here's one
You're
for
also
you, real
getting
quick.
plus 750 as opposed
You
to
are.
plus 500. So
So why don't you do this? You
I
put a
mean, let's
unit
play them
on.
both, Shander. Why don't we
Well,
play them
hold
both?
on.
Kelsey and
Why
McCaffrey
don't
is
you put a
2,300. Go ahead.
I've got 1.75 units for you. All right. You put one on him to score anytime. And again, plus 105, but you can use Odd Shopper to shop for the best odds out there. Of course, we'll sign you up any book. Eli's got links below, hopefully in Indiana. Of course, you've already taken advantage of that with Bet365. Here's the thing. Kelce at 2+ at, let's put a half unit on that. So that's, again, you bet accordingly, but a unit, half unit, $50 to win 375. And then why not? Why not take that quarter unit and put it on him to score 3 at 42 to 1? And really, I mean, you have to go full, just the entire distance here with the Travis Swift, Taylor Kelce stuff. All right. If he's really going to show up for Taylor, then why not put a little sprinkle on 25?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but McCaffrey and Kelce for 2 is plus 2,300.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. McCaffrey and Pacheco for 2. Oh, that's 3. McCaffrey and Pacheco for 3 is plus 7,600. So I don't know about that one, but hang on. I'm trying to do this live. Here. Plus 1,700. McCaffrey and Pacheco both for 2.
Each 2, right?
I might be worth $10 on both of those. $10 on both of those doesn't sound too crazy to me.
Yeah, it feels like I need to get a lot for that. Not to say that that's a bad bet. I'm not saying it is, but it just feels like it's 17 to 1 for 2 guys to score 2 touchdowns each in the Super Bowl.
That's why I kind of like the Kelce one a little bit more. I'll
buy into that narrative.
Kelce and McCaffrey both to score 2 touchdowns at 23-42. I think that's a bet from me, to be honest with you. I think that's a bet from me.
Okay. Look at that. Lock it in. We already talked Eli into 1. I've got 2 I want to throw out at you and just hit a couple of things in the NBA. Then we got to talk some golf before we get out of here. So first, he's already cleared this in 2 straight games. We know that the Chiefs are down a pass rusher, right? Pretty big one, mind you. But Brock Purdy currently at 2.5 rushing attempts. Now, when I got it, it was juiced at minus 166, but this market was climbing. In fact, FanDuel already moved it over at plus money to 3.5. So this is climbing. You can probably still get the 2.5 number. 5 carries against Detroit, 6 against Green Bay. Yes, technically, the kneel down does count. So if you wanted to just factor that in the back end, like, could you imagine the Niners win, and you get the 3rd rushing attempt with a kneel down? Point being is that we've seen him go over this number. Even when he struggled throwing the football, he's going to move. And the Chiefs are down a big guy doing that. So I put that out there as far as over 2.5 rushing attempts for Purdy. And the other one, man, and I think this is more back to where you were talking about as far as Mahomes, maybe player prop incentivized versus just the overall game itself. But the Chiefs can lose, and this total can still go, well, probably not under, but maybe. What is it up to now? But anyway, the Chiefs team total was 23.5, and I went over that. 24 points for Kansas City, especially on the road.
Yeah.
You look at what San Francisco has given up too as of recent. I think the Chiefs can get there. So those are the 2 that I had.
I don't mind that at all. Imagine a bunch of people take Brock Purdy rushing yards, whatever that line is, and you take rushing attempts, and then a 4th quarter kneel down to seal it for the Niners, cashes your attempts, but also the negative 2 yard ruins the over for everybody else. That would be funny.
Yep.
That would be hilarious. I don't know. That's the kind of weird thing I think about.
Where you get 3 rushing attempts, but that yard kills your rushing yards. I could see that. Books are going to win regardless with the VIG,
right?
But it's just an extra stab in your ass
Yep.
on the way out of the Super Bowl. Boy,
Yep.
that would be brutal. Use the same
Not
game
for
parlay
you.
that way and everything. Oh my! All right. Do you have anything in the NBA tonight outside? We'll hit some golf on the way out for sure. Do you have anything going on here in the NBA tonight? I think I got burned against the Knicks, and you want to talk about a bad take or being an idiot. I think I'm going to go back to this ridiculous well here and bet the Charlotte Hornets tonight against the Bulls with the spread, mind you, with the spread. I'll take the points with Charlotte. I thought
That
they could catch
on
New York in
Go ahead.
a really tough scheduling spot. That's the one I jumped out, Eli.
So I in that game, something it's early to bet props still. We still have probably 45 or 50 underdog injury updates to come between now and tip off. But and Gorilla Star, I don't know what Wagwan means. So either thank you or I'm sorry or
Wagwan. Isn't
yeah,
that
I mean,
that's like a greeting.
oh,
Wagwan. You get
hi.
that down in Jamaica.
Okay. Cool. What's up, man? um but in that same game, just on the course of the season, the Hornets are giving up a ton of points to centers. I mean, just a ton. They for whatever reason don't really guard the paint, and I think we're getting a buy low spot for Vucevic. Vooch, gosh dang, I can't say his name. Here hasn't been scoring a ton the last couple games. Great
Yep.
matchup for him. I think we're getting the line like a point or two lower because of his last couple games. I think it's like 17.5 or something like that. So that's something I'm definitely looking at is Vooch points. You could same game throw in a Hornets spread in there too. You could get some negative correlation there on a same game parlay. That would be interesting. Mix our two bets up there a little bit. And I'm also looking at this is kind of weird. It seems kind of counterintuitive based on my stats. I also have the Nuggets being a good matchup for opposing centers to score. And
Yeah.
Chet points and Chet threes has been one of my favorite things to bet on. So those are the kind of the two things that early on have jumped out at me, or Chet points and or threes, and then Vooch points in that Bulls Hornets game.
I don't see threes up yet on FanDuel.
Hang on, I can check using my new bot.
So I wonder what the alt play would be.
The
Right?
alt play.
Yeah. Like his threes, I'm sure, are going to be like what, over 1.5? Something like
Probably.
that. Okay. So 3 threes, you're probably going to get a decent number on that.
Yeah, you'd get probably plus 250, plus 300, I would think. No
Yeah, no
OKC lines
OKC.
open yet.
That's the thing. I don't see what I see on just Denver right now. Well, that's a good look, though, right? I mean, we're doing this at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Eastern time live. So stuff is going to filter in throughout the day. You just said it. I mean, I had to push back the time in which I release these NBA videos because it's like you're not getting any advantage at 9 o'clock in the morning. In fact, it's a disadvantage. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, I had the Sixers minus 4.5 in Denver with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid slated to play. I look up the two of them, Tobias Harris. Like, I don't even think anybody played in that game in like a matter of an hour. So, my goodness.
Yeah, it's tough.
Now you got Tyrese Halliburton bitching and moaning. See this? Your guy? Can we talk about your guy here? Your guy is bitching and moaning that he's going to lose out on $40 million because he got hurt. He got hurt. Like, it's the nature of the game. You get hurt. Guys were taking off on purpose. I'm not complaining like, oh, I paid $100 for a ticket. I'm just saying, man, you're now trying to bend not even the rules, but like reality. You're trying to get an exemption from getting hurt. Like, that doesn't work. All right. You get a tax exemption, but you can't get an exemption from getting hurt. So now he's upset. Joel Embiid's upset. Dude, play games. Joel Embiid doesn't even play on the road anymore. He's like Howard Stern. The guy does 2 shows a week. Come on.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. Also a tough look for Tyrese last night. It did look like he was trying to get back in, but line was 10.5 assists. He sits on 10, and then they announce he's not coming back in for a minutes restriction. That is a yikes for me in what was a winnable game for the Pacers there. That sucks, man. That sucks. Dustin, how do we? I'm going to say Listen, they don't sponsor us anymore, so I can say this. I agree with you. I threw a fit on the show, I think Friday or Sunday with Jerry about the new Picket interface. I don't know. Brian versus the books, I think still works there. So blow him up on Twitter and tell him to get him to change it back, because I'm with you. It pisses me off every time I open it. That's why one of the reasons I wrote my own bot to shop lines, to be honest. So also use OddsShopper. Just as good of a tool. What were we talking about?
Anything else?
Halliburton. Yeah. Yeah, just play basketball. Don't take nights off.
Look, man. Embiid doesn't win the MVP. Who gives a shit? He's the only person that cares like this as far as if he does it. Guys want him healthy for the playoffs. And I get it, like $40 million. I'm not upset. I'm not telling somebody not to be upset that they lose out on money, but the reasoning is like, hey, it's because you got hurt.
If I only showed up to 35, 40, or to whatever that is, 75% of my shows, because it's kind of what I do now, I would expect to get paid less.
Well, do you have that? Like, is there something in your deal with Gold Boys?
No.
Again, over at goldboys.com, where you can just, thanks, Brian. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate everybody hanging with us. So hit the thumbs up button, subscribe both here and over at Gold Boys. Check out goldboys.com, like oddshopper.com. But do you have that where there's like a show exemption where if you've missed 15 shows, you don't get paid that month?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like massive PTO stacked up.
15 shows, that would be most of them. So I feel like I probably wouldn't get paid that month because I'd probably do like one show. But
Jerry's looking around
it could be back there somewhere.
Who is this guy?
Yeah. Could be. I don't know, man. It's gonna be super weird because I'm going to Germany for like 10 days. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna like try to do shows at like 3 or 4 in the morning over there, or
that'd be interesting.
We'll see.
Get a spot outside somewhere, quiet, get the light on you, and
4 in the morning.
That would be it. That'd be it. You like any? How about Durant for 30 tonight? Any interest in that? 30 plus for Durant against the Nets in Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn, baby.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at his recent scoring though. I was hoping we would get a little bit more of a buy low spot. I don't even know what a straight line is, but
that's fair.
What are the odds for 30 plus? Do you have it in front of you?
I will have it in a second here. Do you have anything else that you can think of across the board before we hit a couple of just a quick couple of plays for this week's AT&T? There's an interesting angle, of course, that you can apply with that. So right now, Durant's at 25.5. 30 plus is plus. Oh, geez, it's only plus 175. Now that's on FanDuel, so I can head to OddsShopper.
Like DraftKings has 24.5 at minus 130. He's had like 3 or 4 games under 20 in his last 5 or something like that. He's also got a 40-point game in there. So you're paying a little bit for the name, right? That's kind of what scares me off of playing stars sometimes is, if he wasn't a top whatever player in basketball, you look at his season stats versus his last few game stats, you probably get a 23.5, 22.5 line here. Because Kevin Durant, we're getting 24, 25.5.
That's the point, though. You just made it. And it was a great one as far as just looking at the buy low and trying to find the best number. Because DK is 24.5, Eli, his 30 plus is plus 205. I'll take a shot on that.
Yeah.
I'll take a shot on that. Right?
I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
Plus one, whatever you said on FanDuel is criminal. But plus 205, I think I would.
It absolutely is 100%. All right, I have 4 guys that I played this weekend. One of them I have to play, so just put Eric Cole on the side there. I didn't even look at him and anything as far like I just
have my model
this guy's playing golf. Sorry.
He's pretty high in my model this week. I don't have a bet.
Okay, good. Like I said, I mean, this guy should be. Here's the thing about Cole, and I don't want to make this the Eric Cole's weekly segment by any means, but both of us happen to have a liking to him. But Cole, I imagine that there aren't many. Last week, maybe one of the few that he doesn't pop at least, maybe not top 3, top 5, but he's always up there. That's, I think, one of his strengths is that he's been able to tackle conditions and courses in different areas and really fields as well. So I would be shocked if you came back to me and were like, dude, don't play Eric Cole at all this week, across the board. Now, to be fair, last week was rough, but
You think, yeah, and you think about what Eric Cole is good at, and it really doesn't fit Torrey Pines well, right? He's not a guy who crushes it off the tee. He's not a guy that is going to be top whatever on tour and driving accuracy, and those are kind of the two main things you need at Torrey. So I think it makes sense why he did. He didn't perform super well last week, and you're getting a huge buy low spot for him this week because of that too. Because I think you're a big fan of his betting wise. I think he's a really solid golfer. Looks like he's like you can get him 66-1 to win the tournament. I don't know that he wins this tournament, but you're also getting plus 190 for top 20 for him on DraftKings. I think that's a really solid bet because this is a golf course at Pebble, especially that does kind of fit his game really well. Real quick, a little bit about the course. Pebble Beach is going to have one of the lowest driving distances on the tour because kind of the way it's set up. Almost everybody is playing less than driver off the tee to a very, very similar spot in the fairway. And it becomes almost a second shot and putting contest. You can kind of throw your strokes gained off the tee and driving distance, driving accuracy stats, kind of throw them out the window. Everybody's playing at the same spot. It's also has the one of the closest proximity to the pin from the rough, so there's not a huge penalty for missing the fairway. There's not a whole lot of trouble. So yeah, that kind of fits the Eric Cole model really, really well. Another quick note that it does have, I think, the smallest greens on tour. Only two courses in rotation this year, just Spyglass and Pebble. So
I love it. By the way, did you see this thing real quick before we get to Brian Harman and a couple of other quick golfers? Tommy Fleetwood, you're reading my mind, Dustin. I got him 40-1 yesterday. Absolutely love that. We're talking putter, just being able to definitely gain strokes on the green. That's why I think we both like Harman.
He's real quick on Fleetwood. I don't have a bet on him yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but he's a guy that jumps out to me with the weather too, right? Because growing up in England, kind of in playing in a similar environment on links courses all the time, right? I would think guys like Fleetwood have a little bit of advantage in the weather as well. So 35-1 to get his first win. I was hoping for a little bit better of a number, but I think he's going to be there on Sunday. So a top 20, even a top 10, I think is a solid bet for Fleetwood, as well as on the really bad weather days, picking him in matchups and two balls.
So before we'll end with thoughts on Harman. I mean, you got him at 90, I have him at 80. This is I think the best long shot. Eli will agree and he'll explain. I have to read you this quote. Did you see this? I didn't even see this before I started ranting about your guy and then my guy here in the NBA. Did you see what Joel Embiid said, or at least this Sam Amick report that came out from The Athletic? Did you see this?
What did he say? No, what did he say?
I'm going to read this to you. This is from Sam Amick, and the tweet is from the Dunk Central. People within the Sixers organization believe Joel Embiid forced himself to play through injuries due to the scrutiny he received in recent days. Quote, you could see it long before he was hurt against the Warriors. Embiid, who missed Philadelphia's game at Portland on Monday night, looked like a player who pushed himself to play against Golden State because the whole basketball world was screaming in his ear. There are people within the Sixers who are convinced that he played only because of all the scrutiny. This is the most ridiculous, stank heaping pile of bullshit I have ever seen before in my life. And I live and work and cover the Philadelphia Eagles, who have branded the form of media bullshit. I cannot believe I'm reading this. The fact, Eli, that Joel Embiid played hurt because strangers on the internet forced him to.
Well, when did that report come out? When did that tweet come out?
The tweet is from January 31st, 10:20 a.m.
Okay, 2 hours. So like an hour ago. 2 hours ago, shout out Ryan Props said, did the Sixers get cyberbullied into playing Embiid last night and potentially ruin the season, or am I overreacting? So I don't know. That's a tough look. If you're a Sixers fan. I don't know one way or the other, but I just thought that was
pressured. Funny. He wants to play. Like, people don't realize this, Eli. He wants to win every award. Yeah. He would rather win the MVP and DPOY and be better than Wilt Chamberlain's regular season numbers than be healthy for an Eastern Conference Finals matchup.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry.
I'm enraged.
Pacers
Enraged.
moving up in the rankings if Embiid is done for the season, though. Just saying that. Hey, Halliburton and Siakam both really good at basketball.
Siakam, man, had a nice two-leg with my guy Nathan Joyce on the Discord last night, and we were sweating Siakam getting us to 20 freaking points. I was just about to fire a text to you in the fourth quarter, like, get this asshole on the floor, please.
I think his scoring actually might go up a little bit with Tyrese out, which is kind of interesting because of the
Nice.
playmaking ability of Tyrese. But Tyrese takes some shots as well, so I don't know. I don't have any numbers on that, but I think without Tyrese, he might look at more of a distribution role. I don't know. I just contradicted myself. I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy it hit for you.
Brian Harmon, take us home.
Yeah, I'll talk about Brian Harmon and two other guys real quick. Brian Harmon, same thing with Eric Cole, right? This except for Brian Harmon is like a major winner, and you're giving us 90-1 on a golf course that fits his game perfectly. And you know this entire PGA season, I don't know what the average odds are of the winners, but it's crazy. You know, a guy most people have never heard of won last week, beating guys like Tony Finau and Xander Schauffele, who were right there on Sunday, right? So 90-1 is what I got Brian Harmon at. I'm in for the same reasons as, you know, Eric Cole. What's really interesting is again, Brian Harmon is a major winner.
Yeah, he is.
He's 90-1. Eric Cole is, you know, 65-1, right? So that's interesting. I think, you know, as far as a top 20, top 10 play, I would probably lean Eric Cole, but weirdly for the odds, I don't know about Eric Cole's ability to win this tournament, but Brian Harmon has been there and he's won tournaments. So that's just interesting to me. But yeah, 90-1, I'm in. I'm really big on Jordan Spieth this week. A little bias here. He is, you know, he's probably my favorite golfer to watch. But you know, I've said this a bunch, but guys who are shorter off the tee and gain their strokes elsewhere, right? Whether it's on approach or around the greens or putting, they're going to have an advantage this week. Guys like Rory, guys like Finau, they're kind of losing their weapon, right? Because they can't just hit a bomb off of 14 tee boxes, right? So I am big on Jordan Spieth. He's won this tournament before. He also has a second. He also has a third. So I'm on Spieth outright. I'm on Spieth top 20, Spieth top 10. I'm probably going to be Friday. Probably will be on Spieth 2-ball over Thomas as well. And then I like Schauffele again too. I didn't play him outright, but I did play him top 10 and top 20. You know, he just hasn't really shown the ability to win golf tournaments, but he seems like he's always there on Sundays. Last week he had a excruciating putting performance and still was like top 10, top 5. So I think he's going to be there on Sunday as well. So you're getting plus money, I think, both for top 20 and top 10, at least for top 10. Yep. So I'm in on both of those. And yeah, I'm on Brian Harmon 90-1 to win the golf tournament. Why not?
I love that, man. Look, the guy was gaining. Look, Dubai was just, I think he was exhausted, and he's earned at least one benefit of the doubt. This is a guy who was coming in with two straight top 10s before the top 20 at Sony. And even before that, before the calendar flipped, you mentioned the Open Championship, but he was just gaining strokes on the green. The only time he doesn't is when he struggles, right? RSM, we saw that, and then Dubai. But I think Dubai is more of an outlier. You have a couple of days extra rest. He comes in here gaining strokes on the green where he's really thrived over the last couple of events where he's finished. There's a major correlation for me. And then you mentioned this too, which I think there are two things that can get you at a Pro-Am. One is either you absolutely hate the celebrity noise and all the shit around you and it throws you off, or you are intimidated by the field because you'll see some guy like Rory's here, Scotty's here, and maybe you get a little nervous. This is a guy who won the Open Championship. You went over there with the conditions and the pressure and everything like that. Scotty Scheffler chasing you on a random Sunday at the end of January, beginning of February, doesn't shake you like that. Harmon's fantastic. Look, the only thing I'll add here, and I know you're going against him in one of your 2-balls, but if JT continues to trend the way in which he's playing, Eli, I don't know if we're getting him 25-1 in this type of field moving forward. So I just took a little shot with him too.
I don't mind that as well. And Pterodactyl or Terror and Gold Boys is on Thomas, and what he said in his write up is if you don't like Thomas as much, tail Eli and Spieth, because I think they're both going to be. And that dude is he had like 23 outrights outright hits in 2023. So
Well,
that
we
guy
got to
really
get
knows
him
his
on next
stuff.
week.
What's that?
We got to get him on.
Well, yeah. Hey, it might be audio only. He might be anonymous, but yeah, he really knows his stuff. I'm probably
I
going to
should
have
be
something on
anonymous.
Thomas as well outright. I think there's a really good chance. I think Spieth, Thomas might smoke him tomorrow at Spyglass. I think there's a chance Spieth smokes him Friday at Pebble, and then move to Saturday and Sunday pin locations, and I think Spieth and Thomas are both going to be there on Sunday, and I don't think either one is a bad bet. Real quick, two balls that I really like tomorrow. I think I'm going to lay the juice heavy on Colin Morikawa over Finau. I might play the three-way market, and where the tie will lose, because I feel that good about it. Talked about how Finau just not, he's losing his primary weapon with the driver this week. Colin Morikawa is such a good short iron player. They both kind of can't putt, but I think advantage Morikawa. The odds show that. I think Morikawa is minus 150-ish in the two-way market, but like I said, I think I'm going to play the three-way market for like minus 110, and I'll eat a loss if they tie. And I think I'm going to play Eric Cole 2-ball tomorrow too. I think it might be plus money even.
I'm telling you, man, Cole and plus money scenarios.
He can play golf.
It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Yep. All right. At the Gen Eli, make sure you're following on Twitter at Shander Bets here. Goldboys.com, oddshopper.com. We've got links for you below if you want to sign up at a book here that we've mentioned. Joey B, appreciate you as always. Eli, we have a link for them there. You can sign up on OddsShopper, check out some tools here. We'll get that going for the Super Bowl next week and really get you in some plus EV type bet modes there. And also just look, Gold Boys to OddsShopper. We have a lot of people, so we'll start bringing some. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll have a Super Bowl special next week and bring a couple of our guys on from each side here.
I don't mind that.
Not bad. All right, I'm seeing more about Embiid, and it's just.
We better get out of here before you get really,
truly
pissed off.
I gotta go. I love you, brother.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button on the way out. Appreciate you guys.